So, I have a problem. I love fighting games, but I'm bad at them. To be honest with you, I'm a casual fighting game fan. Cringe, I know. But to be honest with you, I'm a casual in most PvP games I play. I have more fun just being able to mess around on these games with my friends rather than getting too serious or too stressed out over them. And yet, a question still burns within me, and I know that most of you can probably relate to this question. But what if I have no friends? Just kidding, just kidding. I know you guys have friends. And if you don't feel like that, well, I'm your friend. But what if I moved far away and had to start over? Or what if my friends all got too busy to play, which happens a lot as an adult? How fun would Street Fighter 6 be without friends to play with? Well, I am here to find out, and as a filthy casual, here was my experience. For this video, I want to focus more exclusively on the PvP aspect of Street Fighter 6, because right off the bat, there are a lot of great single-player options in this game. The World Tour mode gives players a couple of big city maps to explore, and be able to train under and interact with their favorite fighting masters. There's also tons of side quests and things to do in this mode. It's crazy, but World Tour mode is actually where I've spent the majority of my hours playing this game. There's also the classic arcade modes, where you can play through a short story via a fighting ladder with your favorite characters. But, like I said before, I'm interested in PvP. I want to see if you can still get that crazy chaotic fun that you get when playing with your friends, when all you have is yourself and an internet connection. So let's jump into PvP, and right away, I can see that there's an option for casual matches. That's perfect, so let's try that. So yeah, these casual matches are a huge miss. It's literally called casual, but half the time I was just getting thrashed by some basement-dwelling sweatlord. I started off by playing my favorite casual character, Random, and I got Akuma. I think Akuma's a pretty cool character, but dude, I can't even land a single move in here. This is crazy. It makes me look really bad at the game, but maybe I am really that bad. I don't know. Half these matches I'm just getting dunked on in the corner, bro. So I decided to switch to my main. Chun-Li, of course, the easiest character to play in the game for a casual player. And here I could at least get some moves in, but still, nothing substantial. So then I decided to try and cheese people with Zangief, and yeah, that didn't really work. It was always fun when I landed one of these throws, but I couldn't cheese them with Zangief as much as I could with my friends, unfortunately, because Zangief is usually hilarious when I pull it out on my friends and just grab them over and over. So then I went online and found people mentioning that playing ranked in Street Fighter 6 is actually a lot better of an experience because it matches you up against people that are more of your skill level. So, naturally, the next thing I had to do was pop into ranked. And this time, I'm just gonna stick to my main here, and we'll see how this goes. Unlike a lot of ranked games nowadays, Street Fighter 6 actually has a more traditional ranking system where you have to do 10 placement matches before you get put into your rank. But unlike a lot of other games, it asks you your skill level. Alright, so for ranked, we have Rookie, Iron to Gold, Platinum to Diamond, and Master. I can't believe there's a game where there's a rank below Iron. Oh my goodness, they need to add this to League of Legends, they need to add this to Rainbow Six Siege, they need to add this to Marvel Rivals, and then they need to rename it Plastic. Oh, and now you select your level of fighting and experience. I don't know, like does Smash Brothers count? I'm pretty good at that. Well, that's interesting, but I guess I'm gonna put beginner. I feel like my skill level is probably closer to novice, but since I was getting absolutely dunked on in the casual matches, I think I'm gonna go with beginner this time, and we'll see how it goes. It's pretty hilarious that the first match it puts me in is actually against a bot. I didn't notice at first. So 2 of my 10 placement matches are against a bot, which is interesting, but I guess it's trying to calculate my skill level here, so. And after my first 2 placement matches against a bot, I was finally matched against a real opponent who was playing Cammy. And this Cammy was a rookie rank at 455 LP. Honestly, yeah, I don't know. This player probably just picked up the game recently or just plays very casually. But even I proceeded to kind of just destroy her, and I felt bad about it. And I'm not even good at the game. So eventually she just began to spam one move because that's all I think she felt like she could do. But obviously that wasn't going to get her the dub, and I took one win against her and she decided to quit. Fair enough. One thing I did notice in this game was that there's nobody playing. Like, where are all the Street Fighter fans at? Especially for queuing in ranked, it took forever to find a match. Like, I had a queuing for 8 to 10 minutes before I found one game. And then finally, we found a match. Maybe that just means that the majority of the people who play this game are actually good, but I don't know. So match 4 was against a jury player in Mexico, I guess, who this time was iron ranked. So that should be a step up from the Cammy player, I would imagine, and we'll see how she tests my skills. This match honestly felt much more balanced and even. She took the first round against me, but I took the second round and came back by pushing her to a corner and spamming some spinning bird kicks and lightning kicks. So I ended up winning this match, and of course she didn't want to rematch me, which is fine. We'll move on and try and find another opponent. Too bad the queue times are insane. So for match 5, I'm finally against another iron player who is playing Ken this time. The first match I was able to clean up pretty quickly. I even did a falling drive rush combo here that looks really cool. Like, actually really cool. It makes me look like I'm pro or something.
Observe.
But honestly, I can rarely ever pull anything like that off, and I probably won't be able to pull it off again if you asked me to. So maybe I just got lucky, but the first game didn't feel like that much of a challenge. But Mr. Eliam here, our Ken player, decided to rematch me, so obviously I'm gonna go for it. I want to get my placement matches done. And it was going about as well as the first match was. I took the first round, but shortly into the second round of the second match against him, he disconnected. I don't know if it was because of a connection issue or he legitimately rage quit, but that made me a little sad. Well, on to my next match. Replacement match 6 out of 10. This time I was matched up against a Ryu player who was 3000 LP in bronze. Up until this point, I had only faced against rookies and irons, so let's see how I do against a bronze. Now, right away, he starts kicking my butt. I'm barely getting any moves in there. And then the worst part about it is, he got me into a dark corner in Mexico and proceeded to go all full out cartel on me. There was seriously nothing I could do in this corner. I tried to grab him, but whiffed it hard. I tried to use a drive impact to get out, which only worked briefly, and then silly old me backed myself into the corner because I was too scared of him. And yeah, the only other highlight really is that I kind of did a cool little combo here, but yeah, that's about it. So naturally, he 2-0'd me, and I have to rematch him because I just want to get my placement matches done, and it takes like 20 minutes to find a match. So we have a good connection, might as well. And yeah, there's not much to say here. He 2-0's me again. Well, I may have been knocked down, but I'm gonna get myself back up. So for placement match 8 out of 10, I'm now against a Terry player, and thankfully this Terry player is iron ranked. So hopefully I have a bit more of a chance. And this match was a bit more neck and neck. I really felt like we were of more comparable skill levels. One thing I notice in these really low elos on Street Fighter is that it's full of a lot of players who know 1 or 2 combos with their character and continuously just keep spamming it until it works. And I can't lie, I definitely do this a lot with Chun-Li. I only know about 1 or 2 combos and I just try and get them in when I can. And it does work sometimes. Well, I guess that's just low elo for you. But can we just appreciate that I won the round with this drop combo where I absolutely flip over him and just punk him? Yeah, he didn't see that coming. But ultimately, I lost this first match, and thankfully, he rematched me. So now I'm on my final placement match, 9 out of 10, and it's all resting on this. Everything we've been working for. I can finally find out what rank I am and give a good judgment on how I find the ranked system as a casual player. But something thing I just noticed is right after he won that round and we got into the rematch, he's bronze now. Look at that. I'm glad that I could be the rank up game for him. But thankfully, in this rematch, I still ended up winning overall and finally getting my placement. And I'm sure to the surprise of nobody that it's iron. Well, I guess this shouldn't come as a surprise, but at least it's not rookie. But I did one more rematch against him for fun and ended up winning that one too. So there we go. It's on my record. In conclusion, the online PvP modes for Street Fighter 6 offer a wide variety of experiences for casual players. Probably one of the most casual parts of the game is in the battle hub, where you can interact with other people in a hub-like setting and just mess around or challenge them to a 1v1 or watch other people 1v1. That's pretty chill, it's pretty cool, and there's some really funny avatars out there, some really good ones. But to me, it's more interesting to play match by match in the traditional setting. And I must say, the ranked system is pretty good. It matched me up against players that were my skill level for the most part, and even though they were just placement matches and I didn't have a rank yet, I did feel like these were much more fair than the matches I kept getting in casual mode. Don't let it deceive you. Even though it's called casual mode, you will probably end up sweating way more playing this than if you actually queue up ranked in Street Fighter 6. Or just have a bad time, because people from all skill levels will dunk on you in this mode. And if you're a beginner or just a filthy casual like me, then that's not fun. So I would highly recommend jumping into ranked if you can, or head over to the battle hub if you're looking for some exciting PvP gameplay. And of course, there is tons of single player and offline content in this game as well, but I wasn't going to go over that in this video because I specifically wanted to look at online PvP, because sometimes you want to play against a real person and you might not have friends that live nearby or that like Street Fighter, or they're just too busy. Overall, I'd say it's definitely much more fun to play this game with friends in person. There's just nothing that can beat that experience. But if you're just looking to play against another player that's more your skill level and want to have a pretty even match where you can learn some things and continually grow better, then this is definitely a great option. It just is really unfortunate that it takes so long to find a match. Come on guys, please populate the Street Fighter 6 servers again. I know fighting games in 2025 isn't the most popular thing to play, but it's a really great game. I would highly recommend it. Anyways, that's all I got, guys. Peace out.